let's talk about the 3 foundations you need to be doing to avoid constipation. All right, I think we have all been there with constipation. You're feeling like a struggle bus, you're trying to use the restroom, and nothing will come out. That is literally the worst. I remember, and I know it was because I was pregnant, but I remember when I was constipated so bad, I was like, man, never have I ever did I think I would want to so bad to use the restroom. It's a struggle bus. So there's 3 foundations that are really important to ensure that our bowels are moving regularly, because that's what we want. Because if you are constipated, guess what is not coming out? The toxic waste that's trying to leave your body, undigested food, all the things, used up hormones. That is such an important part of phase 3 detox is pooping. So if you're not pooping, then there's some things that are not happening in the body that should be. So number 1 foundation is drinking enough water. I know this doesn't sound fun. This isn't the most amazing answer of, aha, this is what I should be doing. I think everyone knows that you need to drink more water, but I want to encourage you that when you do drink more water, your stools are able to be softer and they come out easier. And I think we also underrate a really other cool way that we detox is peeing. So making sure that we are peeing and pooping is ideal, and drink your water, because even though constipation is pretty multifaceted, there's a couple reasons why it could be happening. If you are not drinking enough, you gotta drink more. Number 2 is going to be fiber. I feel like this is pretty controversial topic in the nutrition world, actually, and it's interesting, but I do have a couple meta-analysis and systematic reviews that I want to bring up. There was a meta-analysis that showed enough intake of fiber did improve stool frequency. It did not change the consistency though. And another systematic meta-analysis came to a similar conclusion, but that stool consistency was changed compared to placebo. Now, side note, there's a little bit of a risk of bias with this meta-analysis because there could be some selective reporting and incomplete outcome data. So with fiber intake, there could also be some uncomfortable symptoms of bloating and gas. So like with everything, it's really dependent on the person of how much works for you and that you feel best on. Now, in our practice, we do see people who struggle with constipation and they are severely restricting a lot of carbs, good starches from vegetables, and even things like legumes, which are really wonderful. So I will do a next video of some of our tips and tricks of foods to start incorporating and things to do to get some constipation relief. But fiber is a huge part of reducing constipation. And then number 3 is movement. I know this seems kind of silly, but if you think about it, once you move, you get things moving. And there's actually a study that showed how yoga can be super helpful for constipation, because the certain twists and turns and poses can encourage your intestines to move and increase the blood flow towards your intestines, which is awesome. Any type of movement is really helpful. It doesn't have to be yoga, but it could be walking, it could be any type of activity, lifting, running, etc. Because increasing your heart rate is going to help with your intestinal contractions, motility, and really get the things moving that you need to get moving. So make sure that you're looking out for part 2 when we go a little bit deeper and specific on what foods particularly and supplements that could help make constipation be gone. But I also want to encourage you that there can be a root cause to why constipation is happening. It could be something like hypothyroid. Whenever you think of thyroid, hypothyroid, so to speak, when it's not functioning as optimal, it's low functioning thyroid. it really makes everything sluggish, which is why a lot of the symptoms of hypothyroid are weight gain, because it makes you losing weight pretty sluggish process. Constipation is a symptom because if the thyroid's sluggish, so is going to be your gastrointestinal tract. So that's where constipation can also be stemming from something more like hypothyroidism. And then there's also a study with dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is simply an imbalance of good and bad bacteria. And this is kind of chicken or the egg, but there was a study that showed people who are lacking those beneficial strains of bacteria, like you would know lactobacillus, bifidobacterium species, those are like in our probiotics, they are found in people with constipation. Again, total chicken or the egg scenario. It could be that constipation causes this or that causes constipation. Really cool thing to know though. So look out for part 2. It's coming up next.